And that's why it's so important that we focus on that incremental growth. Hey there, welcome back to my epic journey. This is Brandon DeVere. Thank you, as always, for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I do appreciate that. Here we are on the journey going from 600 to 0 to 600 plus and everything that falls in between that. So today, yesterday I didn't jump on. Had football practice, my son's football practice, and yesterday it seemed kind of slow, not a whole lot going on, although I ended up doing quite a bit. But I went to go find something to talk about, and my brain was just fried yesterday, to be honest. And I know I do want to keep this consistent and things like that, but sometimes I don't want to just come on here and waste your time either. Even though I'm trying to give updates and things like that. But since yesterday, or since the episode before, and actually from about this time yesterday until about 8 o'clock this morning, I had 4 new agents join, so that was pretty cool. That was exciting. But I did have a number of conversations today. I was brought on to 3 calls, I think, with some of my agents across the country. So that was pretty cool to get in on talking to those people with teams and brokerages and some people who really want to start their growth really quickly. Part of the reason that I do this show here is because I want people to understand like how, it's not easy. But it's about being consistent and not like you'll have setbacks, all this stuff, but it's not like you just show up and all of a sudden you have this massive downline. And I know it looks like that in certain cases, especially right now with these newer ones that are coming, these newer companies like Epique that are popping up, and people that were in another model and they come over and they have just this massive growth right away, or a coach growth right away. You'll see some of those things, but it's important not to like beat yourself up when you don't have enough agents where you want to be. I'm not at where I want to be. I'm at 64 right now. I wanted to be over 100 by now easily, and that hasn't happened yet. However, it hasn't taken, like, my mind is not off, or like my eye is not off the ball of what I'm doing. Again, I've talked about this before, where it's just the consistency of not the result, but the habit. And so right now my habit is to do an episode 5-6 days a week. That's the goal right now. The number of views, the number of likes, number of subscribers, the number of comments, or the number of agents joined through this channel aren't the real numbers that I'm focusing on. At some point I will. At some point I will take all this content and I will throw it everywhere. But right now it's the number one goal: me showing up, sit here, do a video, and just give updates, things like that. And that's all it is. With that being said, is that it's difficult to focus on those incremental things. Focusing on the incremental is instrumental and into the growth, right? Because if you focus on these big, massive changes and hey, I just got a 15-person team, just got a 24-person team, whatever it is, if those are few and far between, right? You're going to end up talking to most agents are going to end up talking more one-to-one agents, and smaller teams and brokerages than someone who, let's say, is a coach, has been a coach somewhere, or was kind of further down in a downline that didn't have people so large above them where they can get in and get people right away. So the reason that I talk about this is, if you heard Tony Robbins talk about just the incremental, how that growth is, and there's been tons of books written on it, like all different versions. The 1% rule. I think the 1% rule focuses on doing change. Like, I like to play the guitar every now and again, and realistically, I don't play enough. I'm not great. I don't play enough, but like, in order to get better, I would, if I played 1% more each day, that would be 14 minutes a day to start getting better. And that's nothing, right? To block off 14 minutes to get yourself, good at something. But it's going to take over time, right? So Tony Robbins, back to him, he talks about when you hit the golf ball. We hit a golf ball, right? You hit a golf ball based on like millimeters where you hit it, over like 150 yards, 200 yards, 250 yards, over that course, just barely being, just a little bit can be the difference between it going like 30 feet or a 300-yard drive, right? Based on your power, of course. But it just based on that little increment it can either go straight into the dirt, or it can just take off and just soar. And so that's what I kind of want to focus on today, is just, whatever you're doing, it doesn't need to be a massive change. It doesn't need to be massive. Like even like Epique itself. Epique is adding, like, right now it's going to be pretty massive, but it's an accumulation of these incremental things that have happened over the past few months that are going to be offered. So when we do have EpiqueCon that's coming April 22nd through 24th here in Las Vegas, I actually get to participate a little bit, so that's pretty cool as far as like the on-stage activities. But there's going to be 7 to 10 new benefits offered, right? But so it wasn't just, it didn't just happen like overnight, that those 7 to 10 new benefits. Now think about all the benefits that are already offered now. They've been offered from with Epique started, then they offered one, then offer, and add more as they continue to grow. So as we're growing, more benefits are being offered, but you can't just go from the brokerage never existing to all the benefits that we're offering now, right? So with that, and the ones that are coming, and also there's a lot of things that you're like slow implementation will put you in position for so you can do 5 or 6 things in a row, right? Like, you're not the couch to 5K, if you've ever seen that. Like, people go running a 5K, people typically don't roll out of bed without working out for 6 months and go, or not even 6 months, for like 6 years, and then just say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go run a 5K. Like, they talk about the couch to 5K, and there's certain plans that come. You can get apps for these things, and you check it out, and it's gonna tell you go walk around the block. It doesn't tell you go run a mile. Like, even though that's what most of us want to do, like, go run, walk around the block. Like, I did this, I think it was called the Jippus app. I had when I was when I trained I ran a Ragnar a number of years ago. I ended up running 3, but the first one that I ran, it was this Jippus app, and it would tell me if I was running too fast or too slow based on the workout that it gave me based on what I programmed in. I said, hey, I'm going to run, I said, I believe a half marathon, because the longest leg that I would run in that was going to be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 miles, like 7.8 miles, I think. So I just said, hey, I want to train for this. And the first run that I went out, I was like laughing at myself going, this is terrible. It was basically a walk. It was like an elevated leg walk, not even a jog, but I was going so slow. But what I would have done without doing that, I would have wanted to go so much faster, and I would have burnt out and I'd been tired. But it was like an 18-minute mile or 20-minute mile or something like that it had me start on, because I hadn't been to the gym forever. But just by doing that each day, and then I got a little bit better. And during that time, I went from running an 18, 19-minute mile and for like 15 minutes, not even getting the full mile in. I went from that to running 10 miles straight, which I'd never done before. But I didn't just go from one to the other. So it's key. Like incremental growth is absolutely necessary for long-term success. So just wanted to jump on that one real quick. A little bit on that. Again, added 4 new agents today, which was a good shot in the arm. And then hopefully we have some more. We have a number of people that we're talking to. So could see some massive growth here pretty soon. Not only in my own downline, my own organization, but also within the company as well as it continues to grow. So I will get back to you on the next one. Have a great one.